If you're a beginner and you're just starting out on YouTube, there are some niches you should not go around at all. Your success lies in what you start with. Today I'm going to show to you 8 YouTube niches you should not go towards at all. Number 1 is the niche with low content ability. Most people are excited to start something they want and they have passion about, but they've forgotten that this particular niche you choose may not necessarily have up to 1,000 content ideas about it. YouTube is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So if you are starting today and you cannot figure out how to do 300 video content that will be resonating and will not just be to whom it may concern, then there is no guarantee you will be successful on that particular niche. So please be on the lookout for that. Try as much as possible to write out a lot of content ideas for your niche before you go into it. Number 2 is what we call the text-to-speech type of channels. There are channels that will not have human voice but text-to-speech voice, which are robotic voice. Now I know that robotic voices are getting better at it. They actually have human-like voices, but they are still not humans. Now, how do you feel when you work 2 years and you're already making money via your channel and everything is going smoothly, and then there's an update from YouTube that collapses everything in a day? So please, I'm telling you from experience and what we've seen online, do not go after content that are text-to-speech majorly. At least have a mix of them if you are busy and you have to use. Don't just depend on text-to-speech altogether. Now, if you want to learn more about YouTube on its own, there is a masterclass that I'm going to leave the link in the description below. The masterclass covers everything from beginning to the end, how to monetize your channel within 30 days and how to get everything going. You don't want to miss that. So check that out if you have interest in that. Number 3 is other people's content. I know that lots of people that want to start on YouTube are looking for viral videos, they are looking for movies that they can quickly use, they are looking for all of that. But even if you eventually start and scale through, it's not sustainable on YouTube. If you have to be successful, then you need to create your own content, not other people's content. I've heard people say, I can use Creative Commons. Creative Commons are videos that has to do with something like news majorly, or people who actually make videos and do not really necessarily want to monetize it. They just leave it for anybody to use. But now this is where the problem lies. When you use it and the owner of that content now comes back to monetize it, you'll be in trouble for using that content. That's number 1. Number 2 is you can't even tell, because in 24 hours a content that is in Creative Commons can be moved away from it. It's just a switch to take it away from Creative Commons. So that is not a sustainable thing to build a whole channel on. I think it's better you go to a niche that you can produce your content originally by yourself. Number 4 are niches that needs heavy creativity. Let's say, for example, you are not an engineer and then you want to be talking about aeroplanes and the engineering with aeroplanes. The first question is, where do you see those aeroplanes on a daily basis? Unless you're an engineer that works with them, you cannot produce content like that. If your content is something like that of Mr. Beast that needs a $4 million, $3 million, $2 million budget to carry out, you can't be sufficient on that unless you have that capacity and also the availability of that money. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe now. So when you are starting out as a beginner, choose something you can do in the comfort of your room, or something that has to do with the job you do per day. So if you're an hairdresser, then you can open a YouTube about hairdressing. Every day you go to work, you braid hairs, you do stuffs. You can record that and that will naturally form your content. I hope that is clear. And then my number 5 is for beginners who are all over the place. You start from sport, you are going to entertainment, you are all over religious posts, you are doing everything together in a place. You are not going to go anywhere with that YouTube channel. Most people think the more they can cover a lot of topics, the better it is for them. No, YouTube will not be able to categorize you. Let me tell you how the algorithm of YouTube works. It's like a library. When you enter the library, at a glance, you already know where the physics textbooks are, where the chemistry textbooks are, with their tag, which are titles on YouTube. All of these things are set. So it's easier for YouTube to serve your videos to people who have interest in them. That's how you grow. If YouTube can recognize that these are the set of people that need these channel's video, you are going to go viral, simply because YouTube is a machine. It already knows people who need your product. If your content is good enough, it will take it to those people. That's how you go out and that's how you blow out. But then if you're creating on sports, it's taken to sports, then you do entertainment, YouTube is confused, which one do I serve, who do I serve this to? It will not know who to serve you to. that recommendation will go down. YouTube will not recommend you. And if you want to push yourself, that means you're going to work all your life. There is no day you won't be going from place to place trying to promote your channel. So the best thing is you niche down to one thing. On this channel, you know I speak only about YouTube. That's all. Now I have monetized channel up to 3 that I could add match these topics on there, but I know it's going to change the narrative for YouTube. Hence I created this new one. I hope you understand how it works. Even if I have to do the work to get to monetization, it is better off because you will reap at the end of the day. Please don't go all over the place with all niches. Niche down to one thing, macro thing, and that will make the difference. Number 7 is trendy things. Things that are trendy. It's very good if you are jumping on trendy things. I have another channel that I speak about news and things that are trendy, but it's a lot of work because you have to get to the news first. That's why it's very difficult. So sometimes a news is breaking now, you have to break it first so that you can be part of the faucet that will move out on that trendy things. So you are always on your heels. There is no day for resting. So if you don't have enough time, if you are not really ready for the hard work, don't bother starting a channel that will be on trend topics. And then remember, trend topics will go viral for 3 days, they die off, nobody's coming back to them forever. So I decided to move towards something that is evergreen, something that I can produce now and it will still make me money 2, 3, 4, 5 years time because it will still be relevant. So if you're a beginner, don't go for trendy things that you just need the virality, you just need the initial boost, you just need the initial views. Is going to not go anywhere, especially when you are tired. And number 8 is saturated niches. I see a lot of people still coming into money making online today simply because it has a kind of reward of revenue that comes to it. If it is saturated, you cannot grow from a new beginner. It will take you time, years, 2, 3 years. You are still grinding and you are nowhere to be found. So as a beginner, make sure you are going to niches that are not saturated. I can tell you now that if you make a YouTube channel, let's say about tractors, how many people are really talking about tractors? Or if you start talking about cowries or seashells, you know, all those little things here and there that people do not really have content creators for, that's where you can blow out on time, especially when there are large volume of people following. How do you do this? You can use hobbies. Let me show you. If you go over to Google and then you type hobbies Wikipedia on Google, it's going to give you all the list of people and what their interests are all about. Look through it and search the ones that you can resonate with. You can create a channel around that. I tell you, within a year you are already made and you can make loads of money from it. But then that's not all. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe now. If you're a beginner on YouTube, I'm sure you're not just doing it as an hobby. You actually want to make money. So run away from low RPM niches. There are some niches that only have 0.1 cent in revenue for 1,000 views. Meanwhile, there are niches that has up to $25 per 1,000 views on YouTube. So if you have 100,000 views and your revenue is 0.1 cent, you can imagine you've simply made $100. Why someone who has $25 per 1,000 views would have made $25,000. I hope you see what this means. So don't go for niches that have low revenue. Ensure you are going for niches that has high revenue. But then if you are starting out this way and you quickly want to make money immediately with your channel, either you are monetized or not, there is a way you can go about this, and I taught that in this tutorial. Click this tutorial now, click it now, and let's go.